for the money.
What population of Nigerians are into cybercrime? Because you are
The
making a
large
generalization.
large chunk of the youth right now.
You don't have facts to back that up, my brother. He's a young. There are 6 of us. There are 5 of us in this room right now.
We are like
okay, no,
like 2% of
the entire population.
No, of the age bracket. I'm talking about now.
Age bracket?
From 16 to say like 40. 40, right now. You see kids of 16. In those days, we used to see guys actually do fraud and everything. Those were men then. And I'm not saying it was right. I'm not actually trying to make it praise them for it. But right now, the large chunk of people that actually do this are the kids. And they make it look like it's something that you should actually adore or praise and everything. For me, let's do things. In the past, like I said, people sell, people do small business and everything. But how many 20-year-olds do you even see want to be on the street hawking right now?
Okay, that's the problem. Final argument from you both. You've got your 5 minutes each. You have made some assertions. He has made some assertions. Now, notably, you said that a lot of people are just in cybercrime. So if this is a sample size to go by.
No. Are we like how many percent of the population in Nigeria?
No, let's do
I'm asking you
sometimes
right
you
now, boys that should be doing.
You know that in the 90s we had something called 419.
It wasn't large. It wasn't large. Trust me. Right now it's like a norm.
Okay, so
you're even being praised for it.
Okay, shots fired. We've started. We've got 30 seconds for you to make a counter argument. You listened to everything he said. You've listened to the things he pointed out. He picked out your entire conversation and drew out a lot of things that made it feel like you didn't come with anything. I want you to respond to him right now. You've got 30 seconds starting now.
All right. So, a future that is not connected to what you are doing today is a mirage.
Say that again, please.
A future that is not connected to what you are doing today is a mirage. And then everybody can relate with this line from our old anthem. The labor of our heroes past. Our heroes are not past. They are living with us still today.
So are you saying that the heroes didn't do their part?
They didn't do their part. And this is what is reflecting here today.
Okay, so you're still pointing fingers.
Yeah.
Osinachi,
okay.
30 seconds.
Independence.
And you remember he can cut you in those 30 seconds.
No, because
the due diligence of not cutting him.
No, I didn't have a reason to actually cut him. Because he wasn't saying anything for me to cut him. So let me tell you something right now. We had Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian, who actually did a lot for India, got them independence and actually liberated them.
But we're talking about Nigeria.
No, I'm just giving you. You're saying
he said we don't have our heroes part.
No, heroes. I'm saying those were heroes. We saw the apartheid period in South Africa. What happened after was their economy is really big right now.
But this is Nigeria.
And I'm saying
about Nigeria.
No, and I'm saying now that what our leaders actually did, if you don't carry on with it, it is your fault.
What did our leaders do?
As at 94, the economy was better than this, 110%.
But people were complaining openly in 1994.
Those people were complaining because it wasn't. Probably everybody would not say the economy is good. If you go to the US right now, people will tell you that the US economy is not. No, you can talk. I'm listening to you. You can talk.
Okay, so I watched a clip on YouTube where somebody was saying that when he was going to school, his father struggled to
in what school? In what country?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
His father.
What year was that?
In the 90s. His father struggled to pay his school fees. He became a dad. He is still struggling to pay his child's school fees till today.
Why are there classes in every economy? When you go, you see bourgeois, you see electorate, you see bourgeois in every economy. You cannot expect everybody to be on the same level.
We are talking about the average Nigeria.
No, even in Nigeria, are we on the same level? Everybody cannot be on the same level.
Okay.
Now, if he's struggling to pay, it's because...
He said his father struggled in the 90s. He is struggling in the 2000s paying his children's school fees.
They have a struggle. They have a lineage of struggle. I don't know. But the point right now is... you cannot be telling me that one person struggled, other people don't struggle. Can't use one. You actually pick. You actually pick. You can't use one person to actually judge the whole population. I studied economics in school, so that's why when it comes to stuff like that, I know how to actually judge.
When you went to school, so your father paid your school fees from year 1 to 4 at once?
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I struggled through school. No, I have to tell you now because I lost my dad when I was 4.
Okay.
My mom was 28 then.
Okay.
She was a housewife then.
All right.
She didn't have the luxury of any monies.
Yeah.
You know the normal African thing. I
want to ask you a question.
No. He asked. Let me talk.
Okay.
No, your question will come. Don't worry.
Is it easy for you to pay school fees?
I'm
right
paying
now?
the school fees actually.
He has to
Are you
go.
paying it for me?
Is it easy?
Is it easy?
Yes, it is. You do.
See, he's made my point.
No.
Now
How did
it's
you make your
better.
point?
How
Now
did I make
it's
your
better
point?
than back then because your mom, you had a mom.
I'm gonna ask you a
You
question.
are not going through government scholarship. You understand? And now your child is not going through scholarship.
Okay, so we have
A
a call.
single parent and two parents.
Let's let the
Hold
audience
on.
join us.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. This is Super FM 92.7.
The problem that was planted yesterday was what we are reaping today.
So,
There are a lot of
so you're agreeing
countries
with
that-
G-Mind on that?
Yes, there are a lot of countries that we got independent at the same time that does not have the same resources we have, but they are thriving more than us today. Now, look at what we have in those, at least I was from the early 90s.
Yeah.
Growing up, at least we still have eat good, better. At least there was a time we were buying pure water for 2 naira. And now, look at this pure water, 1 pure water, 15 naira. In this same Nigeria, water that is everywhere. The fuel that we are mining in our country, look at how much we are buying it now. Now, look at a country like Singapore. They got independence after us. They were able to manage, the people then were able to manage the resources so that they can have a better future for their children that are coming. Now, the fault of our own predecessors, the 1960s and 1970s parents, which went into government, like what we are having today. They said the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of tomorrow are becoming adults, and
Wow.
tomorrow has not come.
Okay, thank you very much,
It's
Toby.
the problem of the past that is reflecting in today.
So a problem of the past reflecting today. Thank you so much, Toby. We need to go on a quick break, Osinachi. When we come back, we want to go on a quick break, but when we come back, of course, it still is shots fired, and you two can go at each other all you want. Still is Super FM 92.7, your one family, one radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My people, no matter.
I've said. It's 11:30 now. Tiebreaker, what's good?
Well, honestly speaking, I don't agree with both because to me, I feel like I wanted to hear something different on the argument table. I thought they were going to talk about life growing up as a young person in the 80s and life growing up as a young person
In the 90s, early
and
2000s. Okay.
But they took it to the political side of things, which is also very important to note that
They are politically aware gentlemen.
I think that wherever you go, whether old times or new times, there is always struggles.
Yeah.
People will there are always people who struggle. There are always people who complain about stuff like the.
A little bit more
Yeah.
interesting.
No.
To have a wife and you would outrightly tell her you're a housewife.
No, it's not possible. But there are people that actually still do it. But for me, I would not do that. I would never do that. Never.
Why? But
It won't work. It won't work. Things are really difficult right now.
So you're agreeing that things were, mild
Well,
and unrealistic
yes,
in
then.
the 80s
Then,
and in the 90s.
yes.
So are you agreeing with G-Mind's point right now?
Let me come from another perspective.
No.
No, no.
No, you're getting it wrongly right now.
Hold on. He's trying to say that back then
It was easier.
it is easier because things relatively so are not that expensive. Or
So why were people in that video complaining?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People were always complaining.
Different
any era.
classes. Different classes in,
any era,
society.
people always complain. And let me tell you this: there are always in every era or every generation there are average Nigerians and rich Nigerians.
Yeah.
So
Even
there are people
below
who-
average sometimes.
and there are also below
Yeah.
average Nigerians. So there are people who always complain, no matter the era that we are in. But what he's trying to say is, in this day and age, if you have a single mother who doesn't have a job, so to speak, is a housewife and stuff like that, to raise 3 kids now in today's Nigeria,
Herculean task.
it's an almost impossible task if you don't have any support from anybody.
Okay,
almost
so let's get
impossible.
right to it.
Okay, let me put a twist on the housewife perspective.
Conversation, okay?
Yeah, so back then, it was you raise a girl, she goes to school, she comes out, she knows that eventually she's going to be a housewife or end up in a man's house.
Is that
Yeah.
a fact that you have?
Well,
what if you have 5 boys? Raise them to go.
I'm talking about how life was then
Yeah.
and how life is.
Now.
You see ladies go to school, come out, and are ambitious, wanting to do something.
More.
Wanting more.
Yeah.
Ladies want more now.
Can I
Yeah.
can I cut in?
Wait,
because I don't know someone is saying because my
Wait,
the first of
he
three of
said
us
tiebreaker-
is
the
a
tiebreaker-
woman.
Oh yeah, wait.
Talks
Let him
about-
finish. Let him finish.
The tiebreaker talked about how we will move away from the economic
Yeah.
perspective and
Yeah.
talked about how life was then and how life now is.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the girl child, life is better now. They have different options now. They grow up and they say, okay, this
We
is
have a
what
more inclusive society right now.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think that's the better
I
word
can
to
even
use.
even politically you can see women more
Women
involved.
thriving and
You
everything.
understand?
Yeah.
So I think in that aspect, this era, this time, this dispensation is quite better than
The 80s and the
80s and
likes.
the
That's
90s.
laughable.
So, brother, let's go.
That's laughable.
It's laughable. Please go.
because,
Why is it laughable?
It was then. It was easier then than now. Looking about social cultural activities in Nigeria now, it's now our society. So, like in talking about societal value, it is bad now than then. But talking about the advantage of what life can become for somebody, it is better now than then.
Okay, thank you so much, Toby. If you
Yeah.
would like to contribute to the conversation, you can actually send a WhatsApp message to 0705 69000927. If you want to call 0802 502 7711, you can also call 0805 092 0927. You
I
were
talk
gonna
about
say-
what's it called societal issues and everything
Yeah.
and values. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about value system because there's actually a delve out of whatever political according to
Yeah, value systems,
Alex,
yeah.
actually, value systems and everything. Now we're
Hold
looking
on.
at-
Hold
okay.
that thought, please.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? This is Shots Fired on Super FM 92.7. Your one family, one radio.
I'm Esther calling from Uganda.
Esther from Igondo, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, life then I guess is more easier because back then men marry more than one wife. But nowadays, how many men can raise his hand and marry like 5?
But a lot of men in this era are having extramarital affairs where they equally also spend and have children outside of marriage.
You call it affair. Why not them marry them and put them in the house?
Okay.
You get it.
So based on that metric, you are saying life was better then because men could squander and have multiple wives. Okay.
Exactly. At least a lot of things. Even students then, before they go to their school, they will go and do small
Hustle.
yes.
Okay.
Nowadays, which farm do you want to go?
There's still,
How many families?
there's still an opportunity for farming in many parts of Nigeria. But thank you so much, Esther. We appreciate you for calling.
Yeah, talking about value systems and everything. I was going somewhere. How many 20-plus girls right now that actually get to lose their husband very early gets to stay with their kids to train them and everything? I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying every girl.
You know, whatever it is you are saying, you have to come with the facts and the
let me tell you
statistics and the
something.
numbers. You cannot just make those assertions
what I'm
based
saying
on
now
nothing.
is the average young girl right now. who
Did
actually-
you do a
Can I
population?
talk?
Did you do
Can
a
I talk?
population? You know we
Can
have
I-
to be
can I talk?
factual.
No,
Okay,
I'm-
Say
Paddy's.
this. Let me say this. I'll say
And slay
this.
queens.
Yes,
I think that.
but they were called something
No,
different.
no, no.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Social
There's
media just made
nothing-
it open.
Yeah, there is nothing happening right now in the world
Mm.
that hasn't happened in the past. Nothing. And see, there's this video about, I don't like to refer to the video, but it's a video about bullying posted on social media. So social media gives you that room to see these things
Faster.
but faster. But
And
it happens.
It tolerates the mind too.
That's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
it has been happening. Bullying in secondary schools and primary schools is something that has been happening
Like
in the
enough.
Nigerian educational
Okay.
system since maybe even the 70s.
Movements.
Whatever is happening right now it's been happening for a long time. We just have social media now, and social media can blow up these things, and it becomes a
So would you then, in essence, say that this era is a mirror of what has always happened, but then we just have a bigger
I just-
culture
I-
of
I-
exposure
I
where
just
everybody
feel-
sees it and
what-
speaks about it as it happens?
What I feel is this era actually is worse because everything you see on news right now is bad news. Seriously, it's bad news.
Yeah, it's always been bad news.
Most things
Yeah,
that we
always
see,
been bad news.
No, it wasn't like as bad as this. You see things like people. Every time you actually go to social media, you can't flip past 5 pages without seeing something bad. Someone, yes, I know there are rituals in the past and everything, but it's more rampant right now because people are actually desperate to make monies, to cut corners these days. Yes,
Well,
there were people doing it then.
do you have a
it's more
counterclaim?
right now.
Yeah, actually, I think these days are better first of all, this day, first of all, we have communication. The way we used to have communication back then in the 80s and 90s, we have faster, swifter communication now. You don't have to wait weeks or even months to get
information and stuff
and everything. It is at your fingertip. And because it is at your fingertip, we are more woke, we react faster.
And that's why it's easier for people to actually defraud people, right? Because it's easier, it's faster.
Okay,
you have to have your
I'm asking.
We don't defraud people. If you
People
see
do.
a lot of Nigerians in the tech space,
making
See, when you were younger, was it possible for you to, after secondary school, you'd be forced to learn a trade or even go to school? Now you see,
we
kids,
had limited options in the 80s and 90s.
No, the point is,
typical Nigerian, when he's going to school in the 80s and 90s,
I'm saying it was
going to be an engineer.
I'm saying
or
value
a doctor,
system
or
was better
lawyer.
then. The value system was
No,
better then.
we have
now
options that
you
are
see
better
boys
now.
after
Nigerians are
school,
doing more for
after school,
themselves
what they decide
now.
to do is
They are doing
probably
more for
they
themselves
start
now.
defrauding people and thinking
My
of
first
how
argument,
to
I
actually
said,
make
we have
people
mad
get money
survival
off them and
skills
everything.
right
For
now.
me, it's something that it's really bad. It's really bad because then you don't even what you think about when your secondary school is after school, university, after primary school, you think about secondary school
But
and
that-
everything.
that
now,
in itself is
now
bad.
we need
the
to take
point-
a break
now.
at this point. We need to take a break at this point. Of course, you're not going to go at each other's head and each other's neck. We need to drink some water. DJ Ryder is in the building. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we will be wrapping things up on Shots Fired. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. You know, this time, of course, the men who sang these songs were men who grew up in the 80s and in the 90s. Two-Face Idibia, Nice, and the likes. And of course, like the gentleman here,
I had
who
street
is
cred. I had street cred in school. I was like Don Jazzy in my secondary
if they
school.
flog you, you know they cry.
Bruh.
If you cry, you don't good.
No, if you cry,
You don't
fine.
mess up.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course it's still shots fired on Super FM 92.7. We're talking about life in the 80s, life in the 90s, life in the early 2000s, and now, you know, we're looking at these trends and these eras, how the past has fed into the future, and what we have now as against what we had then. How are we faring? How are our children faring? Are you saying our children are having a better childhood now than we had? Are you saying that our children will have better teenage years than we have had? Let's go there.
Yeah, in terms of getting gadgets and everything, they're actually getting plenty right now. But then, when did you ever happen to you, Jojo, that you actually G-Mind actually? You know, Jojo is what I call you know. So have you ever actually witnessed that thing that your uncle comes to the house or a visitor comes and you want to collect money and your mom looks at you? You go no say if you collect that money, you don't go sleep for night. But these days, you look at a kid like with that eye, like that side eye, that you could collect that money now. They'll say, "Mommy, you look at me somehow. What's the problem?" That shows you that then there were values. There are values. We actually put in values. Yes, we actually got values.
What's stopping you from putting those values now?
I think values have also changed because
Okay, so what does the
I feel like those values are kind of the values that made a lot of us growing up. We could not defend ourselves. We could not speak out when people
speak up for ourselves?
Yes, but now children of the
By
day
collecting
are
random money.
speaking up for themselves.
What is wrong? What is wrong with collecting money from your uncle when he gives you one?
What if there's a reason why your mom doesn't want you to collect the money? Now you now start asking your mom in front of your uncle.
I never asked my mom.
Because you were looked to and you were looked at and you didn't collect because you know say something go follow and for back. You don't do that. When that's why they actually guide you. They actually mold you and guide you. We actually turned out better.
But you know that the past actually raised the future that we have now and the present that we have.
Now, then.
So what changed?
No. Then, if you want to scold your child,
By your standards.
Because we decided that we needed something better. We needed to
better,
do
like
better
letting them
parenting.
go haywire, right?
No, they are not going haywire. But
what
the
stops
fact
you?
that-
Are you pleased with the standard of conversations and maybe the standards of living of a lot of young people in Nigeria and the world today? Let's talk to you, G-Mind. Would you say you're extensively pleased with everything you read about young people online?
Not extensively, but I see that young Nigerians are better placed today to do more, achieve more.
And exposing nudity on social media.
We are not going
wasn't
to
like
go
that.
only to the negative. What about the positive?
There's still negative. That's my point.
Wait.
To actually point out the negatives to you.
We're not negative in the 80s and in the 90s as well.
We're not seeing all those things on social
Probably
media.
because there was
Let
no
me
social media.
say
No, I'm
something.
saying social
there were
media
songs
There's
wasn't
never
issues.
been a time when people wanted to be associated with Nigeria than now. You go online, you see everybody, different people that are not Nigerians, saying, "Oh, I love to be in Nigeria. Come here." It's fun for them. They want to experience the Nigerian experience. They want to
What's the
get it.
experience?
Because
to get, I don't say this actually, but let me. I'll take this somewhere else right now. I'm take it to the fact that the golden era when it comes to sports in Nigeria was in the 80s and 90s. I'll take you to boxing. We had Dr. actually won silver in the Barcelona Olympics. And we saw Davis Nezinwa. We saw Olopade Adenike in the 80s, late 80s and 90s. We saw
In the 90s, Choma Ojunwa,
94, we had the Super Eagles.
Super Eagles of Nigeria.
The highest ever ranking for
Getting to the
Nigeria.
semi-finals or the quarterfinals.
No, the round of 16. But they
Round
made
of
it
16,
fifth.
yeah.
They were fifth in the world.
In the world, okay?
When next is actually going to happen? I don't see it
let
happening
me
again.
read some facts to you. We have Samuel Ogazi, a Nigerian athlete who helped the mixed 4x400 relay team qualify for the 2024 Paris Olympics. Hold on.
We want
A
silver.
Nigerian athlete who set a new African record in the women's discus throw in 2023. Chioma Onyekwere. We have
Paralympics
talking about
representing. No,
those
because
ones
it
do
is
it. They're doing it
representation.
for
Nigerians.
It
We
is
are not
representation.
part of the
No,
It is
what?
representation as well.
No, I'm not saying they're not. I love them. The point is they were winning medals.
So
for
you're
a
saying
living.
they are doing less than they were doing in the 80s and in the 90s now?
It's factual. You can check.
And then
if
if you can check,
it's factual. You can
what
check.
was the
See,
only thing that was bringing us together then. But now we have so many things. Take for example, this lady that won the Guinness World Record.
Okay,
of
she
cooking.
Hilda Basi doing
Hilda
something.
Basi.
Of
You
course, it
understand?
wasn't a
And we
record that was
all
held for long, but
connected
then
and we all-
globally better now. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's
That's
what I'm
laughable.
saying. You are only
That's
calling one
laughable.
sport.
That's
Like
what-
us.
No, I didn't
But
call
now
one
in different
sport.
aspects of life.
Who won?
In
See,
different
when
aspects
did we
of
win our
life.
first ever gold medal in the Olympics?
1996.
1996.
Okay.
Choma Ajunwa. And you would actually bring
The dream team, the
I
Nigerian
want to
dream
ask,
team.
I want to ask a question now. Please be realistic. You bring Hilda Basi and put side by side with the dream team or Choma Ajunwa, really? No, answer me.
Okay, so
You can't talk again. Have you lost your tongue?
No, I haven't. Actually, you're a sports person, so I cannot drag
No.
with you on sports.
No, you said Hilda Basi.
Okay,
She doesn't do sports.
Shift
Would-
on sports.
would you-
Can you
would you-
shift on sports?
I've been shifted. I've actually
You have
shifted from sports
not.
since.
You've been in sports and Olympics for
How
a
many
while now.
times?
Like shift. I can tell you,
For-
okay,
okay,
that
he mentioned Onokoya, who was
Yes.
something from chess, which is a very
it's
cerebral
sports,
thing. We've seen a Nigerian mathematics teacher who was recently
And Hilda
ranked
Basi.
in the top
If I hear
50
Hilda Basi for a month,
for
very good,
international
very good
conversations on award winning and everything. But then I think a balance that we can strike in today's conversation from Shots Fired, which I want to take, is that if we had the sanity and the cultural values we had in the 90s and the opportunities that we've seen from the early 2000s to date,
Yes.
that has given us a lot of representation and has sort of been able to cause a paradigm shift in the way certain people see Nigeria, because they can now see sights and sounds and hear things from Nigerians real time.
Yes.
I think if we had that balance of the 90s and the futuristic approach to life in the early 2000s and now, I think Nigeria and Nigerians and life right now would be way better than we have it. Don't you agree?
In terms of what we actually are putting ourselves there, right?
Yeah.
I agree totally on that one.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for coming at each other today. Please, friendly handshake for those who are on YouTube to see that it is all peace and all love. Thank you so much to everyone who called and the people who sent messages. Big shout out to DJ Ryder. Big shout out to Alex, the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Any final words?
I mean, it was enjoyable to listen to them talk and talk about the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and now. But yeah, like we always say, we just hope for the best for the country. We
Definitely.
hope that, our kids can have a better future. And again, the thing with values, right? It's a personal thing. You have to instill those values in your children. Nobody will do it for you. I know the saying that goes, not a home trains a child.
Yeah, an entire community.
Yeah, entire community does that, but not in today's Nigeria, not in today's community. Sometimes we're closed off a bit now.
Yeah.
We're careful with the things that we want our children to see from other people's families and stuff like that. So it's a bit closed.